Rhonda Smith, bass player extraordinaire, and we've completed tracks for my new solo album, The Future is Calling. And
It is.
I have the pleasure of being able to ask you some questions, so thank you. So I wanted to ask, if you're gracious enough to let us know, how did you get the gig with Jeff Beck, and how did you get the gig with Prince? Like, was it through people?
Always through people, which is an amazing thing. Prince was through Sheila E. I met her at a NAMM show many years ago, and at that time she was going to be his new band leader, kind of. She was going to put a new group together for him.
Like
after
music director.
Yeah, music director after the Diamonds and Pearls band. So she was looking for females too, and at that time there were less female musicians playing. So that was in LA. We met her at the NAMM show, and then my friend and I went to Music Mesa in Germany, and she was there again. So there were even less females over there. So we got to spend some time together, and she took a package and passed it on to him, and eventually he called me, which was really
Did he
cool.
personally call you? No.
No, I think it was his management. At that time, there were people, he had more people in management, people who worked in the building. By the time I got there into a year, I mean, the place there was 2 people in it, you know? So he went through a lot of changes at that time, but it was really cool. And that was the time when he had Slave on his face, and it was...
Right, the whole record company.
Yeah, it was very intense, but always about people. And the Jeff Beck story is interesting because that was Narada Michael Walden who actually recommended me for that gig with Jeff, and I had never played with Narada before, and it was really great.
Wow.
So it was just, you know, one thing after another.
Right, yeah.
Just 2 amazing guitar players.
Right.
What can I say?
Oh
I've
my
been
gosh.
blessed to be able to play with these guys. You know?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, Prince is like 10 levels up from I mean, he's got the qua. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he's
So-
one of a kind.
Right.
Last
Gotcha.
of the Mohicans.
Was he gracious and nice with you, or was it a little challenge? Like, was he, with love and respect to him, you know, what was it like to work for him?
If you can work for him, you can work for anybody. He is a perfectionist in a world where perfection doesn't exist, so there's always that. He's just, like I said, if you can work for him, you can work for anybody.
Okay.
He's difficult and he's easy. He was a person, I hate to talk in past tenses, it's hard for me to talk in past tenses.
Right.
But he was a person that knew exactly what he wanted. Everything in music, every single note, he heard every note, he knew every note, he owned every note, every note you played if he wanted to. He definitely controlled his environment, which was
Interesting.
and he deserved that because he had a great musical environment and he had a great vision, you know.
Right.
And a complete opposite from someone like Jeff Beck, you know. Again, 2 talented, uber talented, super amazing people, but just
Polar opposites.
iconically, yeah,
Interesting.
drastically different. Yeah,
Okay.
In the way that their environment is too.
Yeah.
So he was very tough, but very good, very rewarding when it was good, and can be very tough when it wasn't, you know. But
Gotcha.
the best training in the world.
That's so cool. Wow. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So your, introduction to music as a child. Were you initially drawn to the bass? Did you play other instruments? Like, what was your?
I did play a lot of other instruments. I was really lucky because all of my family, all my brothers and sisters, I have 2 brothers and 1 sister, and I'm the youngest. And everybody played music. And my parents encouraged that, which was really great. I've played euphonium. I started playing baritone and brass actually because my brother is a jazz ranger, writer, composer. He does all that, and he teaches jazz composition also. He's always done that for a very long time. But he's a trombone player. My older sister played clarinet. So my brother that was closest in my age one time, he's about 15 months older than me. He came home one day, we were probably about 9 or 10, and he brought a bass home one day. And I was very competitive with him at that age, and he just told me, I remember it was in the case, and the case was closed, and he said, "Don't touch it." And so that's how it started. So I've been a bass player since then. Yeah, and because I didn't want to play trombone, the clarinet, I wanted something that was a little bit cooler than
bass is
so
very cool.
I really got that.
Yeah, I love it. Huh. Are there any shows that just seemed like amazing and mystical and magical to you that you can remember, like like you were with Prince in Minneapolis, or is there anything that I know we're kind of like searching the memory banks here.
That's the thing about him. So many
Wow,
incredible stories. The very beginning that I joined his camp, because for me that was huge, because you just get thrown into this huge, this huge world of touring, television, everything. So there's not anything in particular so much, but I do remember and really have a joyous love for the early days, my early days in the New Power generation, because it was a new world for me and it was really cool. Doing the Oprah show, spending time at Harpo Studios with Oprah was very memorable. Having her come to Paisley Park when she was doing his interviews, all of that was really cool. Doing the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with him was monumental. Just so many things, Todd.
Love it. Okay.
And just so blessed to have been able to
Be a part of that.
been a part of that, especially looking at how it is today. It's so
Right.
sad he's not here. I mean, it's just
Right. I was shocked. I had that same feeling for him that I did for Michael Jackson. I was like,
it was terrible.
just yeah. Okay. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Todd. You did. Best of luck on your record. It was such a pleasure, such a great family of musicians you have playing great stuff. Best of luck to you.
I think that's the most beautiful thing of all. Yeah. Thank you, Rhonda. Oh my gosh.